Hi everyone, welcome to Kole Sukailu, Real Aikaiwa Shadowing. Let's get started with today's shadowing lesson. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Hyomo, Ishoni, step up, Shimasho. Practice daily to master vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and rhythm. Repeat. Try again and again. Zehi. Shanaru no toroku wo. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
So the big question, who pays on a date? Is it always the guy? Should we split it? Or does it even matter? Like navigating a minefield, right?
Seriously, it feels like there are no clear rules and everyone has a different opinion. But if we break it down, some trends are emerging. For instance, a survey showed about 40% of people are all for splitting the bill right down the middle, especially on those early dates.
Wow, almost half? That's a pretty big chunk. So what's the reasoning? Is it about equality or is there something else at play?
A lot of it comes down to fairness. The idea is if you both chipped in, no one feels like they owe the other person anything. Plus, it can take the pressure off, especially if you're not sure about the other person yet.
Makes sense. I mean, who wants to feel like they're being bought dinner just for showing up? But then you've got the other side of the coin. What about the folks who think the guy should always pay?
Classic school, right? And you still see that a lot. Some people feel like it's a sign of chivalry or that the person who did the asking should foot the bill. One survey found that almost half the men are still on board with covering most, if not all, of the expense.
So a real mixed bag. But I'm curious, how does age play into this? Do younger people feel differently than older generations?
Definitely. What's interesting is the younger you are, the more likely you might be to split it. A survey showed that the majority of women in their 20s were all for splitting, which is really different from what you might have seen like 10 or 20 years ago.
So the times are changing. But what if one person earns way more than the other? Does that shift the dynamic at all?
Oh, absolutely. If there's a big income gap, it's a whole different ballgame. Maybe the higher earner picks up the check more often, or they alternate who pays for what. Like one person covers dinner and the other grabs coffee or drinks.
That makes sense. It's about being flexible and finding a balance that works. But what about those awkward moments, like when the bill comes and no one knows what to do?
Oof, those are the worst. I think the best approach is to just be upfront. If you're cool with splitting, say something like, want to just split it down the middle? Or if you want to offer to pay, you could say, I'd love to treat you.
Yeah, clear communication is key. But what if you're a woman who prefers to pay her way? Is there a way to do that without offending the guy?
Totally. Offer to split, but be gracious if he insists. And if he does pay, make sure to thank him sincerely and maybe offer to get the next round or plan the next date.
Right. It's about showing appreciation, whether you're paying or not. Now let's flip it. What if a guy always expects you to pay? Is that red flag?
That's a tricky one. It depends on the situation. If he's struggling financially, it might be understandable. But if he's always expecting you to pick up the check, it could signal a lack of generosity or even a sense of entitlement.
Good point. It's not just about the money, but what it represents. But let's talk about first dates specifically. Is there a different etiquette for those?
Some people feel the first date is all about making a good impression, so the one who asked should pay. But others think splitting is the way to go, especially if you're not sure how things will pan out.
So no hard and fast rules, huh? It really just depends on the people involved and what they're comfortable with.
Exactly. The most important thing is to be respectful, communicative, and willing to compromise. It's not about the money itself, but about showing that you value the other person and the relationship.
Right, because if you're sweating over a few dollars, it might be time to rethink whether there's a real connection there anyway, yeah?
Well, absolutely. So to sum it up, there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to settling up after dates.
Instead, by keeping things honest and respecting your date's values, you'll definitely smooth things over and open doors to a second date. Or not.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? Kyomo Sukoshi Zutsu step up. Dekimashita ne. Hontoni. Sugoi desu. Please let me know your thoughts or requests in the comments. And Zehi Cheneru no Toroku wo Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again. Ashitamo, Ishoni, Gambari Mashone. See you next time. Bye-bye.